Good evening, my friends. You are very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. And as you've probably guessed from the title of the video, we will be discussing Jurgen Klopp's incoming one-game ban that will be served tomorrow against Southampton. If you're thinking, hang on a minute, I thought Kloppo had already been punished. Oh, he had, but the FA deemed it fit to appeal that punishment, and I'm going to tell you why I think that that's an absolute load of crap. Before I do, though, you know the drill. Please do hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and of course, I want to know your thoughts in the comment section about the subject I speak about in tonight's video. So before we move on to speaking about why I believe that punishment for Jurgen Klopp was ridiculous, let me just go on and say that we did get confirmation today that Thiago won't be going to the World Cup with Spain. And I think, to the best of my knowledge, there's only 7 Liverpool players who have been called up for this World Cup. So probably not as big a disruption to our season as many of us would have thought. So fingers crossed, none of those guys pick up injuries. Klopp and the lads are heading away for some warm weather training, and I think a few behind closed doors friendlies as well. So looking forward to that. I know the likes of Thiago Alcantara and Bobby Firmino will be very disappointed not to represent their countries at another World Cup. But if you're looking at it through purely selfish eyes as a Liverpool fan, it's not a bad thing for the club, although I do certainly feel for the lads. But look, let me get around to Kloppo. So, you might remember I made a video where I said that Jurgen Klopp should receive whatever punishment comes his way because he did act inappropriately and he did deserve to be punished. And I still stand over everything I said there. If Jurgen Klopp received a 1 or a 2 games touchline ban after the Premier League had looked at it, I would have had no issues with it whatsoever. My issue is, why did the FA appeal it? Why didn't they appeal Conte or Tuchel or other managers? And you know, I can't remember the last time that the FA appealed a player's ban or a player's red card either. It really does feel like a bit of an unprecedented situation. Now, I'm sure there is precedent. I'm sure somebody will point out to me that they've done it previously. I'm not talking about international games here. I'm talking about the Premier League. You know, the one that they don't run, the one that's run by the Premier League. Now, I'm aware the FA are, of course, a stakeholder in the Premier League. But why did they feel the need to override the decision by the Premier League board to give Jurgen Klopp just a fine? That's what has me scratching my head, and that's what has me quite annoyed, to be honest with you. I want to know what you think. Do you think it's unfair? Do you think it's me storming a teacup? I don't know. It just feels a little bit unnecessary for me from the FA, and I think they should have a lot more on their plate to deal with the World Cup coming up in Qatar, and they should be working on how they're going to be vocal about the human rights abuses and all of the other stuff that's gone around with this World Cup. So to want to punish Klopp even further than the £30,000 fine, I think it was, that he received previously, just feels like a bit of a slap in the face for me. Just to confirm on it as well, it will be tomorrow's game against Southampton that Jurgen Klopp will be banned from the touchline for. That will see, of course, us come up against Southampton with a new manager. Ralph Hasenhüttl was sacked. They've brought in the guy from Luton to take the reins. And it'll be interesting to see if Southampton have a bit of a new manager bounce. So it'll be Pep Lijnders who'll be on the sideline tomorrow, directing things from a Liverpool perspective. I'm really annoyed by it. I'm very, very annoyed because I've looked back through, I've had a quick Google search, and I've tried to find other instances where the FA felt the need to do this. And once again, I want to point out, I'm not condoning what Klopp did. I have no problems with Klopp being punished. My problem is this appeal. And why? That's my problem with it. So maybe you guys can help me out in the comment section. Maybe I've missed something really obvious here that you guys can fill me in on. But for me, it just stinks and I don't like it. And I think the FA should be concerning themselves with bigger issues. So let's move on to the ownership situation, which is, of course, an ever-moving, ever-evolving situation. We don't have a definitive on 2 things. One, we don't know if it will be an outright sale. We've heard Jurgen Klopp and a few others in the media as well suggest that maybe this could just be Liverpool taking on some investment. So I did a little bit of reading last night, and as always, places like The Athletic and even in the comment section of these, you can find some really useful information. And there was something last night that was pointed out to me that I thought was rather intriguing. So let's say, as an example, that FSG want to take on some investment and don't want to sell the club. How this is done in itself could be quite interesting. So if FSG just flat out sell, let's say 25% of Liverpool Football Club, and they receive on their valuation of it being worth 4 billion, let's say £1 billion. Well, FSG in that scenario would most likely take that £1 million, put that in FSG's bank account and go about spending it however they please. But the interesting thing, and again, this just goes to show how I'm not qualified to speak about football finances, but I am capable of reading up on stuff. Somebody pointed out to me that there's another option here, that they could just issue new shares. So in a way it is diluting their ownership, but in a way it isn't. So they could take and issue new shares to Liverpool Football Club that would dilute down their shares in theory and would give new investors an opportunity to buy in. And let's go at the same rate. Let's say it's still 75-25. But the difference here is that that 1 billion that will be taken on would be put into the coffers of Liverpool FC and will be spent on footballing projects. Now, people might say that makes no sense. Why would FSG just wittingly dilute down their shares, bring in an investor, get £1 million, but Liverpool Football Club keep it and FSG don't? Well, I guess there lies in them gambling on the club still becoming more valuable over time, that this new investor can significantly add things to the club, whether it be new player acquisitions that help Liverpool win more trophies, get more commercial partnerships, and hence increase the value of it. So let's say, for example, let's say I bought into Liverpool Football Club and they diluted the shares and I put in £1 billion. So I now have 25% worth of shares in the football club and Liverpool have £1 billion to play with. So if I go and I'm very clever about what I can bring to the table and I add value to the club, and over time, let's say in 2 years' time, FSG reevaluate the situation and the club's worth 7 billion. You can see then how they've made their money. The club has pushed on because of the new investment, has strengthened, whether it be on the pitch or commercial partnerships, and thus increased the value. So again, this is a very tricky situation, and I have to admit I am learning as I go, like many other people who are reading up on it. So that seems to be the preferred option for me, if there is an investor coming in. So just to recap really quickly on that, if FSG just sold 25% of the club, they could take that roughly £1 billion or whatever they get, put it in their bank account and head off and do whatever they like with it. But if they dilute the shares or issue new shares in the football club, Liverpool Football Club would then receive the money themselves, and that money would be put towards footballing projects. And then FSG would hope that in the long term, this new partner that they've brought in will help increase the brand, or excuse me, the value of the brand. And then down the line, they would receive a bigger payoff again. Because remember, one of the things we keep speaking about here is have FSG taken Liverpool as far as they can with their methods. Hence why a new owner or a new investor might come in. Then, of course, you have the other option, which is an outright sale. Reading up on this today, kind of mixed reviews on it. Some journalists seem to think that most likely we will see another American owner come in, but there are some other journalists that think we may see some South Asian money or East Asian money anyway. Excuse me if I can't remember the exact area of Asia. My geography isn't the best. So you're looking at the likes of India, maybe. You're looking at the likes of Singapore, China, Hong Kong, other parts of the world that haven't really tapped into the football market in a huge way just yet. So look, we wait and see. I know there's a lot of people out there who like the idea of the guy that owns the Clippers, who apparently loves to throw money around and get involved in winning teams. So look, I don't know. But what I do know is I'm annoyed at the FA over the Jurgen Klopp situation, and I'm intrigued as to what's going to happen with the ownership situation. So maybe you're out there and you've a far better grasp on football finances than I do. Do let me know in the comment section if you can add or inform me a little bit further on the things I spoke about during this video. Much love as always, my friends. Have yourselves a brilliant weekend, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you on the watch along tomorrow, starting from 2 p.m. on our Twitch channel. Link for that is below. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.